Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi barakatuh, ladies. Today, inshallah, we are together in lesson 11 and we will start with part number 1. We start Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim wa bis-salah ala Rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa nahmiduhu subhanahu wa ta'ala wa nashkuruhu alladhi hadana lihadha wa ma kunna linahtadiya lawla an hadana Allah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Now today, inshallah, we are going to start with the 5th exit, which is the last tongue exit. Okay, these are the 3 letters that exit from the last part of the tongue. Let us see where do they exit from. But before, I will read first of all the Arabic from Al-Jazriya. Okay, and then I will translate it as we usually do. Now the letters are letter dha, val, tha. Okay, again, dha, val, tha. Let us see what he has to say. والضاء والذال وثال العليا من طرفيهما. Again, والضاء والذال وثال العليا من طرفيهما. What does that mean? Remember last time the whistling letters, he started with the character, because the 3 of them had this very special character. No other letters have it. But here he started again with the letters, mentioning the names of the letters first. And he said, وَالضَّاءُ وَالذَّالُ وَالثَّا. These are the 3 letters we are concerned with today. I want you to notice here, this is the name of the letter, okay? And he said wa, and, because he is continuing from the previous saying. But what I want to point here is that he put a hamza at the end, وَالضَّاءُ, and the names that take a hamza are, for example, the tha also takes a hamza in its name. We say tha, ha, kha, but we usually don't do this, because in the Quran, the letters that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started with them, some of his surahs, in the pronunciation we do not add the hamza. We say, for example, ha-mim. We don't say ha-mim. Okay? So this is why we do not put the hamza in any of the alphabets. But in the Arabic language, the hamza exists in the names of the letters that take a hamza. Okay? But here also, this letter, the tha, takes a hamza. But he has the ability, or we have the choice, either to put the hamza or to omit the hamza according to the rhythm that he is taking. Okay? So here he did actually put the hamza, but here he cancelled the hamza so that he can connect easily. وَثَالِ الْعُلْيَا. Okay? So he is saying, وَالضَّاءُ وَالذَّالُ وَثَا, those 3 letters, لِلْعُلْيَا, the upper. عُلْيَا means upper, to the upper, meaning they belong to the upper incisors. Okay? So the makhraj is the upper incisors, min طرفيهما, from both their edges or tips. The tip. Okay, طرفيهما is the tip. So from both their tips, what does both refers to? It refers to the incisors and the tongue. Okay, so they exit from the tips of both the incisors and the tongue. Tip against tip, طرف against طرف, طرف مع طرف. This is how we say it. Okay, so the makhraj, the exit, is the tip of the tongue against or touching the edge or the tip of the upper two incisors. Okay, let me read it again. والضاء والذال وثال العليا من طرفيهما. Those scholars were unique, very short words and very precise meanings. Here is a summary to what we already studied, and it's always important, to revise on and on again what we already took. There's 18 letters that exit from the tongue, as we all know by now. Okay, first of all, the rare tongue, أقصى اللسان, deep inside, the furthermost tongue, we took the qaf and the kaf. Okay, and then from the middle part of the tongue, وسط اللسان, we studied the jim, ya, sheen. Those three letters are from the middle part, they exit from the middle part of the tongue. And then, if you remember, the scholar Al-Jazri went to the edge of the tongue to explain the dad and the lam. From those two letters exit from the edge of the tongue. And then he moved to the tip of the tongue, where we studied those letters, Noon, Ra, and then Ta, Dal, Ta. And we are going today to take Dha, Dhal, Tha, because they are from the tip of the tongue. And we also studied the Sad, Sin, Za. They are the whistling letters. Okay, and by studying today those three last letters, we have finished the 18 letters. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 letters exit from the tongue. Okay. What are the differences between those three letters in the pronunciation? What is the difference? What is the difference in the shape of the makhraj, in the shape of the exit points? Let's have a look at the letter dhal and letter tha. Here, the tongue, can you see here the tongue? The tip of the tongue is touching the tip of the upper two teeth, the edge of the upper two teeth. So we say adh, adh, adh. Say after me, adh. Actually, the tongue, as though it goes, the tip of the tongue, goes a little bit upwards to reach the edge of the upper incisors. You should be feeling vibration, okay, in the lips and in the tongue, but there's no air. There's no air when you pronounce the letter dhal, because they are actually touching. Those two parts are actually touching. They are not closing the sound running, but there's no air. All the air has already turned to sound in this letter. Okay, you feel the vibration in the mouth. What about this one? The same makhraj, but the touching technique is a bit different because there is air flowing here. We say F, F. So the difference between dhal and tha is that the tongue in the tha goes out a little bit more and it allows the air to run. F, 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 F. Okay? Two different sounds. Here there's hams, there's a lot of air, there's a flow of air. But here it's just vibration. So in the letter dhal, again I'm saying the two tips collide together, but allowing the flow of the sound. But here they are not colliding totally because there's air running in the letter tha. What about the letter dha? The letter dha is a harf musta'li, harf mufakham. It's an elevated letter. So we say dha. What if it wasn't? Then it turns to a dhal. So the difference between the dhal and dha is that dha is an elevated letter, musta'li. It also has itbaq because it's one of the four letters of itbaq. Sad, dad, ta, dha. Those four letters have itbaq, means that the tongue closes against the upper jaw, okay? Behind the teeth of the upper jaw, the tongue touches all this part all around, except the front part, except the tip of the tongue, where it goes a little bit out to touch the edge of the upper two teeth. So we say dha, dha. Let's pronounce this one. Dhal, dha, dha. Okay? And here, tha, tha. A different technique in touching, allowing the air to flow. Now, let us have a look here. If we say it is elevated, this letter, musta'li, elevated. So there are 3 points that we have to look at it. If it's musta'li, then to pronounce it properly, I have to make sure that there is a narrowing in my throat. You feel it when you say dha, dha. The throat narrows. It's different than when I say the throat doesn't narrow at all. You can feel it actually. And also there is an elevation of the rare tongue. L, okay? So this upper tongue elevates, the rare tongue, it elevates, and the middle part of the tongue lowers so that it causes the echo of the letter. Okay? So let's move a little bit further. Yeah, some questions here. And first one, is the exit opened or closed? When I'm saying opened or closed, I do not mean the character. I don't mean itbaq, infitah. I don't mean this. But I mean, is the letter closed to the extent that there is no flow of sound or air? So the answer is no, because the sound runs and there is air running in the tha. Okay? So yes, it is opened. The makhraj, because I'm here saying the exit, not the character. Okay? What are the common characters between them? Let's just, we will answer this in the next in the next slide, inshallah, in the coming slide. But if there is a common character between them, what do you think the common character is? For example, are they all elevated? No, just the dha, so it's not a common character. Do they have itbaq? No, it's just the dha, and those have infitah, the tongue is opened. Okay, do they have a whispering character? No, just the tha. So what is common? The common is that all of them, the three of them, the sound is running. So these letters have rakhawa, not shidda. Okay, the common character between them is rakhawa. Okay, now can the letter be apparent and whispered? No, it's either hams or jahr. So for example, the letter tha has hams and those two letters have jahr, because it's either this or that. A letter can't have both characteristics, either hams or jahr. We are going to take these in more details regarding each character when we are going to talk about the characteristics of the letters. We actually did go through them with the exit, with the Makhraj, but inshallah we are going to point out more details regarding each character. Do the vocal cords vibrate in all three letters? We know that out of experience, what we experienced before, that with the hams, with the whispering character, the vocal cords do not vibrate. So if we put our finger against the throat, and let's pronounce the letter tha, ath. Again, ath. We all know that we put a hamza, fatha, before the sukoon letter, okay? Ath. No vibration. What about the letter dhal? Let us have a look here. Push the sound so that you can feel. And let us try the letter dha. Of course there's very clear vibration in those two letters. So yes, the vocal cords vibrate, but not in all three letters. Is any of the three letters elevated? Yes, we already mentioned the letter dha, right? Is there a whistling sound in any of these letters? No. Just the whistling letters are sin, za, and sad. Okay, these are the three whistling letters. So when we pronounce, we make sure we are not pronouncing them with a whistle. We are going to take this in the mistakes that occur when we are pronouncing these letters. Very well. Okay, now I think I will keep this to the next slide, inshallah, to the next recording, so that it's not so long. Thank you. Thank you very much for your attendance, and inshallah we will start from the slide that we stopped at. I'll see you in part number 2 in this lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.